Hi, my name is Corey Mentor, and I am with Trinity Employment Specialists. We are a staffing firm located here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we staff for travel nurses all over the nation. We have contracts in virtually every state. We don't work with the state of California because of their labor laws. I don't know why I said that. It's kind of funny, though. It's not just for Trinity, it's for the nurses. We want to watch out for them. We don't want anyone getting sued for something that would not be an issue in another state, but we staff all over the nation in 49 of the 50 states, and we would love to be a resource for you. But what we always try to do is add value to the travel nurses that are even in our sphere. And if you're watching this, that means that you are probably likely in our sphere. And so we just want to give the best wisdom possible. And so today I've got questions travel nurses need to ask. So we're on the other side of this thing. We're setting up the contracts. We're working with the management service providers. We're working with the people in the hospitals. And because we're working with our contracts every single day, just by osmosis, we have become experts in this field. And we know where the nurse is able to make more money, certain questions they need to ask, certain things that they don't. And we're actually working on trying to put together a package for our travel nurses to make sure that you go through these questions because there's so many different moving parts. If you're leaving and going to a new place, it'd be very easy for you to forget to ask some certain things. There is no chance that I will get through all of these questions, but I want to bring up some things that are pretty good points, and it might give you something to think about. The first thing is, you're going to want to find out your pay, your perks, and the guarantees of your contract and make sure that you know and understand them well. And the questions you can ask is my assignment guaranteed by a written contract? Any assignments with Trinity, they will be guaranteed with a written contract, but different agencies might be different. They might set you up for a per diem, and you'll definitely want to know those differences. But the likelihood is, if they're sending you a contract and you're signing it, you are obligated and they are obligated. It is truly a contract. So the only time that should be an issue is when you're not signing a contract. But definitely just make sure that you read over the contract, which many people unfortunately don't do, and so you understand the caveats of it. Number two, you'll want to make sure are my hours and my schedule guaranteed. You definitely don't want to get into something where your schedule is not what you thought it wouldn't be, and you want to make sure that there are no surprises. Surprises are just never really good in almost any business, especially when it's a negative. But asking good questions can help that. So you want to make sure that your hours and your schedule is set. And then I would strongly suggest actually that you ask, is there going to be opportunity for overtime? And before you decide to do the shift, if you are, or the assignment, if you are wanting to just make money, taking a shift that offers overtime versus not taking a shift that doesn't offer overtime might be advantageous for you to think about. So that is another thing. How much and how often will I be paid? Different agencies might be a little bit different. Trinity's weekly. What will be deducted from my paycheck? Some of these things need to be explained to you, especially when you deal with the taxes of a housing stipend. The agency will need to know, do you have a tax home, to be able to explain all of the deductions. But that is a very good question. That way, again, there are no surprises. Let's skip down to insurance. You'll want to ask, will I have insurance coverage, malpractice, life insurance, dental? You'll want to ask your agency that and make sure that you have a clear and concise booklet that explains all of your insurance that is offered to you and whether they do have malpractice or not. I'd mentioned earlier California. Well, one of the things that is very concerning to a lot of people, any nurse or medical professional working in California, is the malpractice is just through the roof in that state. And so definitely if you're going to go to a state, I don't want to get political, but more of a liberal leaning state, you'll want to make sure that you have a great malpractice coverage with your travel nursing agency. See here, the next thing when it comes to insurance is what are the costs of the coverage? Different agencies are going to be a little bit different. And then what does the coverage cover? You'll want to, balance these things out and at least know. Again, knowledge gives you power. And I think that if you did this once with one agency, or let's say you wanted to use a couple of agencies, you would at least know the differences between the two agencies. Where it would be very confusing in my mind is if you used multiple agencies for probably the same contracts anyways. And you would be going from one insurance company to another. It would be, for stability, using the same travel nursing agency for contract after contract after contract would probably be the easiest on you and a family, to be quite frank. But for other reasons, you might want to move agencies. Other benefits, are there other benefits and bonuses like a 401k, a loyalty program? You want to know these things. Does the agency offer meal allowances? A lot do. Trinity does in many instances. If the agency offers a retirement plan, when would I become eligible for that retirement plan? Will I have typical mileage reimbursement when I travel for the agency? Most likely yes, but you need to know what those are because the way that they measure it is in cents per mile. So, I think this Oklahoma, it's 52 cents per mile, but in different states it's going to be different. And then you're going to have some agencies that offer you more or less for that. But I believe they're going to get in a little bit of hot water if they offer less than what the state requires. What type of charting system is used? What type of EMR system is used in this hospital? These are some of the things that you need to ask. Are there any licensure issues with this particular hospital? What is the culture like in this hospital? You'll want to use your travel nursing recruiter to be able to figure out some of these different caveats. Let's go down to contacts. Whom do I contact at the facility if I have a problem? With Trinity, it's going to be your recruiter. But we're going to give you multiple numbers, our main number and their cell phone number, that you're going to be able to have that. But you need to know that at any facility. What is the number that I contact and who do I contact if I have any issues with the hospital? Is there an agency representative 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? At Trinity, yes, we have someone available for you at all times. What if my recruiter is unavailable? Who do I call? For Trinity, you would call our main number where you would have access to someone there. But depending on your agency, you need to know that question. Who do I talk with about time off? That's going to be a different person within Trinity. It's going to be in our HR department. And what are the requirements for having it granted? And so do you need to put in time off a week in advance? A lot of times that's going to be determined by the hospital. And so your agency is going to have to reach out to the hospital and find that out. Keep that in mind. However, that is something that you definitely want to ask. Some good advice, nurses should just thoroughly research the company and what it offers. I think that you should read Google reviews. See what other nurses are saying about the agency. We would love for you to take a look at our Google reviews, but we have bad ones too. And you'll want to take a look at those things and see if they matter to you. But at any agency that you work with, I think Google reviews is probably the most authentic. I was on the phone yesterday with a company wanting to do reviews for us, but they were giving us the ability to erase the bad reviews. And some people might look at that and go, oh, that is great. We're definitely going to do that. I look at it differently. I'm like, that is not an accurate rating system. So Google does not allow the company to erase it. They allow them to respond to it, and I think that's a good thing. If Trinity can help you in any way with your travel nursing, please give us a call at 918-622-2588, or you can visit us online at trinityemployment.com.